Rubbish piled up in the streets more than 4 decades ago as the winter of discontent brought the country to its knees and the Labour government with it. Strikes, closed services and industries, with workers protesting against pay lagging behind inflation. 43 years on, and workers are striking this summer with some of the same demands. Mick Berry is all but retired now, but he remembers the winter of discontent and the waves of industrial action that followed it.
It could be awkward. You had a lot of friends who argued with you, you had fallouts and things like that.
Now a volunteer at the Keighley Bus Museum, he's not surprised strikes are on the cards again.
Standard of living in this country has gone up to what it was. The downside is, I suppose, there's more people, there's more cars, there's more of everything. But I don't think wages are meeting that in any way. Certainly in auto industries, it isn't doing.
In just over a week's time, the rail system will be shut down, according to the RMT union. 3 days of strikes are planned for 13 train operators, with the London Underground also affected on the first day. The Transport Secretary Grant Shapps says the government will look at changing the law so employers can bring in agency staff, although it can't happen in time for the planned strikes. Unions are outraged.
If you think about what Grant Shapps is trying to do with that legislation, is to make industrial action ineffective. Now, I believe it's a basic human right to be able to withdraw your labour. You only do it as a last resort. If people can be brought in to undermine disputes, it will lead to bitterness, it will lead to division, and it will lead to these problems getting worse.
Meanwhile, Labour is calling on the government to listen to workers.
The way to resolve this is to get people round the table, but the idea that you can replace a skilled train signaller with an agency worker, would you feel safe going on a train knowing that it was an agency worker rather than a properly skilled and trained up train signaller? I know that I wouldn't. So instead of this fanning the flames and increasing tensions, the government needs to act like firefighters rather than arsonists.
The government says it wants the unions and rail industry to work together. But for now, the rail strikes are due to start on the 21st of June. Gerard Tubbs, Sky News.